Hey everybody, it's Karen Buford, um, coming to you live from Facebook. Hey, or, well, from my studio rather. And I have some artwork that I started out last week. I made my acrylic pours. This is what they look like. Light up. This is what they look like. And I'm on a different. I'm not on my iPad. I'm on my Galaxy because my iPad kind of ran out of storage. So I'm on my Galaxy, and this is kind of what this one turned out. If you can see that, I'll put it up so that the camera can see better. It's kind of what this looks like. Has some weird stuff going on. My Galaxy is like sharing the screen, so it seems really tiny to me. So I'm gonna fiddle around with this and see if I can like unshare the screen or whatever. It doesn't look like I can, but I can see comments if you guys make comments. So if you have a comment, let me know. If you got a question, I can see it and I can maybe answer it. This is what this one looked like. This is all the different colors that I had left over, and that came out really cool. I'll see if I can back that out so you can see the whole thing. This came out really cool. I think it came out. And by the way, I have this so jury rigged. I have like a rubber band across my screen, so it's really funny. Hey Rhonda, how you doing? Long time no see, girl. So this came out really cool. This is all my leftover colors that were at the end of my pour, my acrylic pour. And if you didn't see last week what I did, you can go to my YouTube channel and see what I did. And then this is one that I'm going to use for the brother with the dreads. And I'll show you that picture in just a second. So let me see if I can tilt it. This is weird trying to do this. Let's see. Okay. That's it, like that right there. Okay. So, and I'm going to tilt this a little bit and hope it doesn't fall off of my little pad. Oh no, scary, scary. Okay. I think I should be filming because this is where I'm going to be working. Oh my God, that's so scary. I have like one rubber band holding this whole thing up. Seriously, it's like crazy. And I wish I could have the whole screen, but it's not showing that. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to get started because I'm going to make an acrylic transfer for these. So, so for this one, what is this? Oh, and here's my iPad. And I have this so I can see what exactly is it that I'm going to be doing. Because when I get to painting stuff, then I need to know what my image looks like. But this is the brother that I'm going to put on. He's going to go on this one on the bottom. And this ballerina, I forget this sister's name, but she was like one of the first black ballerinas. And she played the Firebird. And she's going to go on. She's going to probably go on this one. I guess she's going on this one. I can't decide yet. If you think that I have two other ones that I did in that pour. So if I could get people to comment on there. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. If I could get people to comment on that one, this sister's going to go on this orange yellow. So I know that she's good on that, but I'm kind of I was kind of thinking of this guy going on this, but I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I thought about putting him on here, but then I thought about her. I think she should go on here because she has orange and blue. I don't know. What do you think, Rhonda? Maybe she should go on here? I don't know. I'm not sure. He has a lot of blue and purple in him, and she has a lot of orange in her. So this has orange in it. And if you're going to buy this, which one would you choose? He's got a lot of blue and purple in his shirt. There's no purple in here, but there is orange in here. And she's got yellow and orange in here. So I'm thinking maybe. I think this one might work out. The one I poured for this was really, it's really exciting, but it's really, really orange. I'll show you. It's very cool, but I think it's too much. This is the one that I poured for the ballerina, and I think it's just like too much. It's really cool. I mean, it's really cool, but I think it might be too much for this ballerina. I mean, because when I start to put stuff on top of here, it I'll show you one that I did that has a lot of movement in it, and like this is a really nice picture, but it has a lot of stuff going on in there, and I'm gonna probably work on this one today and try and bring this person's face out more, because it started out as a photograph and then it turned into a drawing, and so now I have to like really, because there's so many bubbles and stuff back there, from like this one has like a lot of bubbles in it. This one has a lot of bubbles in it too, and so I'm just afraid that I'll lose a lot of her information. And also have another ballerina that had a lot of movement and stuff in there like this piece does. So I'm just afraid that if I do her on here, that it'll just be too much, because she's got a lot of stuff going on here and here and here, and I don't want to lose that move. It's got like way too much movement. I have to find something else cool to put on this, because this is just too exciting. It's much too exciting. It's cool, but it's just much too exciting for me. And so I think I'm going to leave that one on. But anyway, I want to show you guys how to do the transfer, because it's very cool. So I'm going to start with the easiest thing to cut out first, which is girlfriend, right? This lady here, she's very cool. So I'm going to start cutting her out with my big scissors, because I don't need the background at all. So I'm going to cut this out. And then I use Mod Podge. I guess it's called Mod Podge. But that's really hard for me to say. That's like a tongue twister or something. So I just call it Mod Podge because it's easier to say. And most people think that that's what it is anyway, because nobody pays attention to that. People just gloss over that stuff. They're like, yeah, it's Mod Podge. Because that's what I thought it was my whole entire life, until somebody said, it's actually called Mod Podge. I'm like, really? It is called Mod Podge. But, who knew? I didn't know. I didn't care. I called it Mod Podge. So I'm not going to try and correct people on that, because people don't like to be corrected. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave like a little bit of yellow on here, because that's probably will fade into this. And y'all not going to see this until like maybe next week. And next week, I might do more than one broadcast, because like being a teacher in my district, I get like extra days off. I know y'all don't like to hear stuff like that, but they work me like, I do a lot of extra work. Like I bring my work home. It's called homework. Homework isn't just for students, it's for teachers too. And they get a lot of extra work out of me that I don't get paid for. And like some of you people, y'all get with all the tax cuts and everything, you guys get like $1,000 bonuses and stuff like that. Man, I haven't had a raise in 5 years. I haven't had a cost of living increase in like 3 or 5 years. So I don't want to hear about me getting my little 5 days off, or getting summers off, or anything like that, because I work summer school. And so, I get paid for it, but I work summer school. So some of those people that are, I wonder if I should cut that. Yeah, I think I'll cut that. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. A lot of people, talk about teachers and stuff, but, everybody comes through a teacher. Nobody becomes anything without going through a teacher, even if their teacher is their mom. Even if you're homeschooled, somebody teaches you something. So, yeah, this started out also. This started out also as a photograph, and then I ran it through a bunch of computer programs, which now I'm not going to tell you what that is. I'm so sorry. If you just want to know, you have to get your own iPad or your own computer program and figure that out and learn how to do it just like I did. That's why I'm. But yeah, I ran it through a bunch of computer programs, turned it into a drawing, and now I'm going to turn this drawing into a painting, because once this goes on, and this is paper, it's paper, and once it goes onto my painting, then, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Melissa, hey. Once it goes onto the painting, it turns into something I can paint, and then I paint over it. So it's very cool. All right, so I've got girlfriend cut out, and I just love how this looks when it gets on here. And I usually paint in a lot of stuff on here anyway. Oh, if you hear a little dinging, I've got my, oh, I love that. Oh, she's a little cricket. There we go. If you hear a little dinging, that's, you know, my little mailbox telling me I've got mail. You know how you sign up for stuff and you forget about it, and then people start sending you a bunch of like spam mail. And my mailbox is like ridiculously spammed out. So my advice, don't sign up for a bunch of spam mail, because they'll spam you out. So now this is how you would think. It's kind of sort of going to look like that, but not really. Okay, so I'm going to cut that one out, and I'm going to cut these three out really quickly, and then this guy, he's not going to be that quick. Let me cut out the ballerina face, because I'm still trying to figure out which one to put on. And, uh-oh. Ooh, that's a shadow. Ooh, let's see. I think I'm just going to cut out the shadow, too, because I can't tell where's the shadow and where's her leg. So I'm going to cut out the shadows and the leg, because that's a freaky ducking one. So this, again, all these were all photos, and then you could say I photoshopped them. I didn't really use Photoshop. I have Photoshop, but the version of Photoshop I have on my iPad, it's not the big, powerful version that you can spend hundreds of dollars or whatever on your desktop to get. Because, you know, I did learn how to do Photoshop in college, and man, that had like a really steep learning curve on that Photoshop in college. I had a friend that was taking it with me, some guy that was in teacher training. It was all in teacher training when I was at the University of Minnesota. Go Gophers. They almost made something this year, but they fell down at the last part. But they were okay at the final. They were in the Sweet 16 or something. Anyway, this guy, he was telling me, he was hanging out with me, some guy that I met that was one of like a couple of black people in the program with me. And he just was so funny. He was so dry and droll. But, you know, we had a good time. And we were both in there struggling with that Photoshop, man. That was a while ago. It was before it was like really user friendly. You guys have it easy now. You don't have to. We had a big, thick book like this thick. It was this thick. Wait, let me go that way. Man, this is weird. Okay, I can't. The heck. Okay, look, this like. Okay, I'm trying to. Everything's backwards. Sorry. It was like that thick. There you go. For Photoshop. Just for Photoshop. And I was like, what? Oh. You know, I felt like I should be learning a foreign language. I guess it was really back then. I mean, that wasn't too far away from, you know, basic and cobalt. Yeah, back in the day. Melissa, you don't know anything about that, my dear. I'm sorry. That was way before your time. That was back in the day. Rhonda might remember that stuff. I don't know if you took any of those computer classes back in the day, girlfriend, but I remember when I don't know if you remember when they had a computer that could only make a smiley face. That was funny. Back in the day, they had a big giant, a portable computer was on a big giant cart, and it could make a dot matrix smiley face. That was funny. And I just thought when I saw that, man, what's the use of that? I just thought, okay, yeah, so it can make a smiley face. What good is that? I can do that. And I just didn't see any use for any of that stuff. I thought, And now, I saw the opening of the Olympics. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen the ceremony, when you're done watching me, you should go and check that out, man. They had some drones in the ceremony that like swarmed together like locusts or what have you, and made some really cool, spectacular stuff going on. I was like, whoa, I can see applications other than entertainment for that. It's kind of freaky. So, but it was pretty cool, But they got down over there in Pyongyang. Oh man, I'm gonna need an X-Acto. Shoot. Oh, gee whiz. Let's see. I need a little piece of wood. Be right back. I gotta use an X-Acto knife on this to get girlfriend's arms out. Okay. Probably gonna need that for him too. So, let me move this out the way. I gotta get exact with the X-Acto knife. Let me get exact. I'm going to have to get exact here. And, I don't think there's Zoom on here. See, that's why and I ordered my camera. And, well, no, not my camera. I ordered my, my tripod and my little lapel pin and my lenses. I ordered my lenses for my camera. I haven't gotten a new phone yet, but I'm still waiting on it. I got to get my tax return for that. But I ordered it when I got paid. So that's supposed to be coming tomorrow, just kind of after today. So, it is what it is. So the next time, I thought I'd have it this time, but, I got to wait for money. I'm not rich. My mom, she left me what she could, which was cool. But, she wasn't rich either. She worked for Safeway. So, she hooked me up good enough to meet me a good fella that I got with, and I'm still with. And, oh, dang. Aww. Okay, well, that'll be fine. And, so, we went pretty far. We traveled all over the country and, did our thing, and we're still together, so that's cool. But, I'm not rich. I'm out here working every day like everybody else. I hope all my friends did well. I haven't heard from them in a long time. Like my friend Robert. Oh, hey, Linda. Oh, Linda. Hi, I haven't seen you in so long, girl. And let's see. Okay, I think there's something in between her hands. Oh, I'm going to really like this, how the yellow's going to pop through there. Oh, that's going to look nice. Oh, yeah. And I think I might just let it come through with the hands. Let's see. Okay. This is going to look very cool. Because this has, now I'm going to put this up against both the really wild painting and also the more calm looking painting to see how I like it. Just because you never know, it might be cool and then again it might not. And so, I mean, she's a pretty exciting girl, but, I don't want to get overly like wild with this. And I don't want her face to be all weirded out, but because it does come through on the face if it's, it just depends on, the color. But, I mean, the way I poured it, sometimes those little things on the, oh, hey, Linda, I'm going to put this on a poured, an acrylic, a poured acrylic background. And you'll see it in just a second when I get done cutting this out, which one I'm going to choose, because I've asked for people's opinion on what they could do. Hey, Tom, I've asked for people's opinion on which background I should put this on. And I'll ask again, since I have more people that have joined me today, to see which acrylic, which poured acrylic background I should use on this. And because I have two that came out. And so I'm going to ask you guys to tell me your opinion on which one I should use in just a second. So let me finish cutting out her little headdress. And then I'll have you guys kind of do me a little survey vote type deal. And y'all can tell me which one you think is going to be the best one for my ballerina hair. Because we're going to put it on there and you guys can see which one you think is going to work best with all her little feathers. And she is the Firebird, by the way. That's the ballerina, that's the dance, the ballet that she comes from is called the Firebird. And that's why she has this little cool headdress. So I don't know if you guys have seen that. I saw it at Dance Theater of Harlem. I highly recommend that you see anyone portraying that. So let me show you the one that I was thinking of for her. I've got really, this is choice number one for her. This is choice number one for her. So if you like this one, I don't know, should I turn the light on so you guys can see? I'm trying to figure out how to hold this so you guys can see it. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get it into the camera so you guys can see. So this is choice number one. And then that one's kind of exciting. And then this one is choice number two. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't know. This looks really, I think this one's going to be maybe the one. I don't know. This is choice number two. So which one do you guys think would be the best one? Waiting for votes to tell me which one. I got at least like 4 people watching, so let me know which ones you guys think is going to be the best one for this one. This one has a lot of orange, and it has a lot of red in it. I'll show you guys up really, really close. It has a lot of oranges, has a lot of reds, it has a lot of movement. Number two, Tom is saying number two. Rhonda's saying this one's cool. Linda, Melissa, which one do you think? Because now that I see it, I'm liking number two better too. Has a little tiny bit of pink right here in the bottom where her toe is. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff going on. I didn't think I would like it as much. I'm kind of liking it. That's not, I mean, if you were going to buy it, which one would you like the best? And keep in mind, even though I'd like to put it in this direction, it's actually going to go like this. So I don't know. I can't probably put it in that direction. So I'd like to put it this way, but it's going to go this way. This is how it's going to go. So there's no way I can put her toe that way. This is how she's going to go. So I have to figure out a way to, which way I'd like her to go. But this is what kind of it's going to look like. So I have something cool in one of these corners. Oh, I have something cool in this corner. I have something cool in this corner. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? We got 3 colors. Let's see. I'm thinking that this one is going to go. Let's see. I want to put it. I'm looking at which way this is moving too. To see which way to put it so that it stays moving in the right direction. So they're both moving in the same direction. The paint's moving in the same direction as she is. So I think it would go this way. Yeah, because this is flowing, this paint is flowing this way. If I put it down this way, her foot's going that way, and that's going that way. So that's how that one's going to go. Thank you so very much, my friends. So that one's decided. And then I'll put her over here. I don't know which way to do that. Okay, so that means that this guy goes here. Well, that means I have extras. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of these. So he can go. I really still like this one though. So now I can decide if I want to put him on here. And this kind of reminds me of the background that this guy came off of. I don't know if I want to put him on that or not. We'll see. I got a lot of cutting to do with him. For now, I'm going to go ahead and, because I don't really feel like cutting him out. Not really. I'm going to go ahead and kind of want to Mod Podge all of these guys at the same time. Oh my God. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Seriously, a pain in the butt. I'm just going to like cut him out really quickly. And then I have to go back in and like, I have to go back in and do him with the X-Acto knife too. Because, and I don't know, we'll see what I do with him. No, he looks like he has a brain on his shirt. I have to see how tall he is, how much hair he has. I just liked his dreads flowing. They were so cool looking, you know. Yeah, put that stuff in the trash. Oh, we'll see. I keep these because you never know when you might need to make letters out of these or something. And I also want to make some letters and some, okay, I'm going to put her on here. She's going to go next. So this is the other lady that I'm going to do, this lady right here. And I'm going to flip her over so she can be Mod Podged also. But now I have 2 orange ones. I have 3 orange ones because I have the orange lady, the sister that's the orange lady. So that was the first one I thought about doing. But I don't know. I might like him better. Okay, let me cut out his dreads really quick. Because, you know, this is the tedious part of being an artist. I know Tom knows this. I know you know about the tedious part of being an artist. You know, all the cutting and all the waiting for paint to dry. Oh no! Oh, I had dreads like this a long time ago, and I rolled up one of them in the car window and yanked it right out of my head. Snatched it right out of my head through the car window. That was when I decided it was time to cut my dreads. They were really, really long. And they were like so long they were hurting my back. So I decided that it was time to like stop that particular natural hairstyle. It was a little bit much. And, you know, I couldn't get a job then. You know, it was before its time. You know, I've been a trendsetter for a long time. So, But now everybody wears it, and I guess it's not a problem anymore. I mean, they don't give me no problem on my job when I have my little natural hairstyle. Yeah. So it's all good. I mean, there's all kinds of people wearing all kinds of hair, so I guess it's okay now. But back in the day, oh my gosh, it was such a problem. As long as I'm dressed, relatively professionally and do my job professionally, they really don't bother me, which is cool. You know, I show up to work, I'm on time, and do what I'm supposed to do with the little kitties, turn in my lesson plans. I'm all good. Follow the state directives, so forth and so on. I'm good like that. And now some of his dreads are going to have like this light on them because I know that there's light shining on them because his dreadlocks are three-dimensional. So, and some people are like, well, why is it white? Because, there's light shining on them. That's why. And so I need to show that it has that three-dimensionality to it. So when you're drawing or whenever you're painting, you want to make sure that you don't leave whatever it is that you're doing flat. So, I know that this has a three-dimensional quality to it, not only from having dreadlocks, and from seeing dreadlocks, but, just from the fact that there's a light that's shining on these dreadlocks, and, these are thick dreadlocks, and so they have that three-dimensional quality, and that's what it looks like when you're drawing them, or when you're aside from the fact that the background has a lot of texture to it, so that's why it looks the way that it does. And so when you're looking at it, when you look at it really up close, you can see that there's these little lights on there, so it looks kind of white. And then when you look at them, and those, I guess that would be pixels from this digitized, the digitized way that the computer rendered this particular piece of art. It kind of helps, distinguish between the background and the foreground and what I was doing. So, it's got like a little area that I can really see pretty well what's what. Because, this is not the easiest thing in the world to be trying to do, But, I mentioned that the Medusa might have came from with all the snakes in her hair that are moving. Because dreadlocks move as if by themselves. Mine did. They definitely had a mind that they was going to do what they wanted to, regardless of what I wanted them to do. Because my dreads, and even my twists, they do what they want to when they want to. And I'm just like, please, can you just please act right today? Because I don't want you to, I need to do what I'm doing. And so, your hair just decides to do what it's going to do when it's going to do that. So, but this is going to look cool. I really like this background, but I think that whichever one I put it on, it's going to get another vote from you guys as to which background. One of these is going to be cooler than the other one. And I'll show you this other one. I think Tom was watching me when I made this one. When I made this one. And this is how it turned out, Tom. Okay. It lost, like, remember it had like the big bubbles in it? It still does. It has like a few more. But, it looked different when it was. Now that it's dry, it's a little different. It's not as shiny. But I think there's that one big bubble down there. It's like down here somewhere. Oh wait, I'm on the other side. It's like over here somewhere, like right there. I think that was that one big bubble that we saw. But you know, it has some cool stuff in it. What is that? Some kind of skin, like in here. In here, it kind of looks like uh, I don't know, that fake, like fake skin or something, or fake, um, I don't know, some fake, yeah, like fake reptile skin, fake alligator skin or something, which I think is kind of cool. You know, I never thought I could be doing some stuff like that, but there you go. I wonder if this is going to fit. Oh, that's looking really cool, man. But I see this is kind of dark here. That looks kind of dark. I like that. That looks pretty cool. But let me see what it looks like with this one. I know it's not quite done, but I just want to get a good idea of a better contrast. Oh, I like that one. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Maybe this one? Maybe. Oh, wait, it's going to be backwards again. So it's going to be go up this way. So, oh, I like this way better because look, it's got that light going there. Maybe this one. Like that. I think he's going to look real cool like that. Because if I put him like this, bottom, really hits. But if I put him this way, ooh, wow, look at that. It's going to be going like into the light. I like that a lot. And that's not where the light source is. The light's shining from here. Would it be shining from here? Yeah, it would. No, it wouldn't. No, I can't get that way. I still think I like it that way. I like it that way. Let me finish him up really quick, and then I'll show you guys how to do this. Like, hurry up and do this. Because it doesn't really matter how, because I'll be able to put like a lot of detail back in here. Well, oh, this is the top of his head. That's why there's not like a lot of dreadlocks at the top of his head. Because the top of his head is round. See there? Try to give some definition there. And then the other side doesn't have as much because the light is coming from, I don't know, he's got like sources of light or something. It looks kind of weird. It's like hard to tell what's going on here with some of this. All right, so take a little bit of light on these threads, especially this little skinny one. It's got a little skinny one up in the air. Like I can't really figure out how this picture was taken. If this guy's threads, or if he's like twirling his head, or you know what's really happening there. That all his locks are like flying in the air, but it's still a really cool picture. So, and I tried to find out who took the picture, but there wasn't any information on Instagram on who took the picture. So I'm just like, whatever. If this person recognizes themselves, oh well, good. And if not, oh well. You know, I tried to find out who it was. But you know, sometimes when you go to the link where they post who it is, it just doesn't have any other information. It's like private. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Put yourself out there. And I guess want to be identified, then that's fine. I can't do anything about that. I try to find pictures where I can say who it is. The ones I like, nobody wants to identify themselves. The ones that people want to identify themselves, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's a cool picture, but it's just not that interesting. People who take interesting pictures, I don't know. They don't want to identify themselves. I don't know what to do about that. Do they know that they're interesting? Do they know that they take interesting pictures? I don't know. All I know is that, you know, sometimes I can find free pictures and sometimes I can't. And when I find pictures of real people that, you know, don't identify themselves or make themselves private, their identity is private, you know, and, you know, I don't spend like an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out who they are, you know, because I leave them to their anonymity. Okay? If they want to be anonymous, I'll let them be anonymous. That's the right. By the time I get done working with the artwork and transforming their photographs, they kind of look like themselves, and then again, they kind of don't. You know, you can like they probably could tell it was them. Maybe their friends that know them or their parents or somebody who knows them really well could tell that it was them. Y'all probably wouldn't be able to recognize them. I might be able to recognize them, but I don't know them in person, so maybe not. You know, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. If somebody doesn't get, you know, I surely take it down and get their picture. So this guy is going to go on this one, and I'll use this one for something. I know I'll have more pictures. So now it's the fun part. We get to do the Mod Podge. So here is my giant gallon of Mod Podge. And here's, I'm going to use this little teeny cup to put my Mod Podge out. Yeah, just a little teeny cup, that's all. And, you know, the only way to transfer the photo is to put it on backwards onto your surface of whatever it is you're going to do. I'm going to put quite a bit of Mod Podge in here because I have 3 pictures to do. And then this absolutely has to dry overnight. You really do need 24 hours, even though I live in the desert and it's super duper dry. So if you're someplace where it's rainy or snowy or humid or wet, then you might want to let it dry a little bit longer. Okay, because you don't want to go through all of this work that I just went through and then end up with your work going to not. So it's not going to work out and it's not going to be good for any reason. You just don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to start with Dreadlock Man. And I'm going to get, I don't want to use a brush like this. Okay, because you see all those little hairs? Like, you might want to think about using a brush like this only because you're putting it in something that's tantamount to glue. But don't use this. Okay, don't use that. Because all those little hairs will get all in your brush. Or they'll get all over here and they'll be stuck on your picture and you'll be mad. So don't use that. You need really a good brush. And I know I hate using a good brush, but I'm going to use a good brush that doesn't like leak hairs or what have you. Where's my good brush? And I know this doesn't look like a good brush, but I've abused it so terribly. But it'll be fine when I put it on here. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to dip it in here and I'm going to put this on the front of my picture. So here we go. It's going on the front. It's going on the front. It's going, going on the front. And you got to work kind of fast because this is paper. And I'm putting a lot on. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom to so that I can get all this stuff on the bottom. Okay. And then I'll get all these little hairs that are everywhere. Because you see that the paper is starting to ripple already. And this, oh, by the way, it's really, really important that you use a laser printer, laser color printer. Do not try and use a, I don't know what happens when you try the, like, color printer, just like your regular color printer that you might have at your house. Don't try and use that, because that will just won't have the same effect, and you'll be really unhappy. Okay, so got this on here, and if you don't put the right amount on, then you just kind of have to feel around to figure out how much is the right amount so that all this stuff stays. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this puppy over and place him where I want him to be. Okay, and then now I have something that helps me to push this in really good. These are things that these people send you all the time that are so annoying. These fake credit cards. This is what I use the fake credit cards for. I'm going to smooth this out as much as possible. I use the little fake credit cards for art. Like, since you're going to annoy me and send me fake credit cards, here's what I use the fake credit cards for. And then up here where this is, when I get done, when everything's all dried and I've peeled off all the paper, then I'll paint that part out. Okay, and then any edges that don't have Mod Podge. Okay, so now that I have this part on, and this is so counterintuitive, you would not believe that this would actually work. Now I got to put a layer of Mod Podge on top. You think, man, that's not going to work. She's never going to be able to get that stuff up. And see, now, even there's a hair. See that? There's a hair of the brush on there. But since it's on the back, that's not a problem. Oh, man, there's 2 hairs. Ooh. 2 hairs of the brush. Since it's not on the back, it's not. Since it's not on the front, it's okay. I've really been abusing this brush. This is a nice brush, too. It's kind of expensive. If you work with cheap brushes, guess what you're going to get? Start out cheap, going to end up cheap. You're going to fail on you. If you work with nice brushes, then you're going to get nice results. But you start out cheap, you end up cheap. Okay, so that one is about done. So I'm going to let this one dry. And I can kind of see the picture coming through a little bit. I can kind of see his face coming through a little bit. I'll show you that. You can kind of see his face coming through just a little bit. Okay. Hey, Ann Edson. I'm doing some pictures now. You can't see them now. You'll have to go back and watch the video to see what I'm doing with that. But I'm doing a photo transfer onto my poured acrylic. I did the poured acrylic last week. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see the poured acrylic. I did post that last week. But now this is the sister. I'm going to do this sister next. This is the photo drawing that I did of her. I'm going to do her next. So she's much easier. So I'm going to put this over here on the floor to dry. And he's done. Brother man is done. Dreadlock man is done. Lay out one of my plastic bins for him to dry on. And so I'm going to do her next. So again, I'm going to put the Mod Podge or Mod Podge It's so hard to say. Why would you make something with a silly name like that? Mod Podge. What does that even mean? Who even made that? I don't even know. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm just going to make a nice layer of this. This is going to cover mostly the whole thing. That's why I did this one without a lot of detail in it. It just has a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow. And it just kind of matches her skin. And it kind of matches her. I thought about putting purple in here since she has purple hair. But, and in the photo, she did have purple hair. So usually I try and add a little bit of color from, add a little bit of all the colors that are in the photo. But I just wanted it to be really plain because she has so many colors. I didn't want to add any extra colors in there. And, you can figure out, you're like, well, how much? You just kind of have to feel it after you do it so much. And I had to figure it out myself. I can't really tell you. You kind of feel how much you need doing it. It's one of those things you learn. You do it, you learn it, you figure it out. Okay, so I'm gonna flip her over and we'll put her where she needs to go. Okay, so this one, here's my credit card. And as long as I don't have her face all wrinkly, I kind of don't care about the rest of it. Well, I do, but I don't want no big wrinkle in her eye. And then edges where I can see that a little bit more, like right up here where I wasn't trying to like touch it too much. Back here in the back, where her little kitchens are. Over here, back here in the back. You really do want to try and get all these little edges, especially her eyelashes. I don't want her eyelashes to come off. She got some big old eyelashes. This is part of that hair that was sticking up. So I'm gonna mash those down before I. Okay. So now comes the time to put this on. Just try to squeeze out. I'm going to squeeze out any air that any little air pockets that you can get. Okay. I'm going to try and get this to the layer on this one. Because usually if you see an air pocket, that means that's part of it that either didn't get wet or didn't adhere properly or something. So I'm trying to stick a little bit underneath there. And that may not, when you try and rub, when it dries and try and rub it off, which is in like a couple of my videos I have where I'm off, like one for the lady with, I think that's like a 12-minute video where I'm rubbing off the lady who had, I think it's called Meditating Woman. When you see that one, you can see that parts of her come off. There's also one where the ladies, I think that's the one, it's the one that's upside down, maybe. I don't know. In the video now. So, I'm starting to lose track of stuff. And I think I have a subscriber from overseas now, some lady that I talked to on the phone when I was trying to get my camera equipment and stuff. Just on the way from Amazon. Should be arriving tomorrow. So next week I'll be back next week too to do some. Any of you that sign up for the Black Heritage Virtual Art Show before the 20th, when you sign up and you go to the Black Heritage website, you will get a 10% discount on anything from my website. So when you go to the show 24th, there will be a discount code of 20% off on my website, but you can't get it until you go to the show on the 24th. So, or the 25th. It'll be good through the 25th, 24th and the 25th. And that you can only get by going to the show on the 24th. I will leave a link for people who are going there on the 24th and the 25th to go to a discount code on my website, because you get a 10% discount if you buy. There's like one picture that's up. If you don't want that particular picture, I completely understand. But this will be, oh, you can see her face. Look. This will be a 20% discount on my artwork, on any artwork. And I'll have some of the new artwork, some of these that you're seeing. Definitely the baby girl, some of these other ones that I have will be up that you haven't seen, will be up and available on that website. Also, some of the what you'll see up available at the website are only like prints, which are called giclées. You can get, if you wanted to get one like this, that's an actual canvas print like this. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're not original. So you could get a giclée that's a canvas print. You can get a giclée that's just a print that's a, and I do have some of those that I sell that are framed. If you just from the company, they charge more than I. Their frames are much more expensive than mine. I just give you a basic kind of El Cheapo of all the money. They give you an expensive frame and they keep most of the money. But, you know, that's how it works. So they provide the frame and they provide the print. And, you know, I get my prints from them or I get them from another company. And then if I get them from them or another company, regardless, or if I just go to Walgreens and get them, you know, if I get them, you know, it's cheaper for me, cheaper for you to get it from me than from them, but they send it right to your doorstep. So if you don't live right, it's going to be cheaper for you to go to my website and get it from them, and then I still get paid money. And you can choose whatever kind of frame you want, and it just comes right to your door or wherever you designate. They'll send to your job, and you can get your 20% discount when the day of the show. And you know what I'll do is I'll just have it up until the end of the month, so that people can still get a benefit. People can still get a benefit from going to Bird. And there's other people that are going to be participating in this. There's actors, there's writers, stuff like that. So this sister right here is like one of the first feedback from y'all. I really appreciate y'all feedback. And I'm going to use this one because once I put this on here, I thought, wow, this is super exciting. And it's very fiery looking without being um, literal. It's very fiery without being literally fire. It just has that oof, oof, has that oof effect. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Firebird, which is what this is going to be called, the Firebird, on here. This will be very cool on here. I had this woman's picture in mind when I poured this. And sometimes, like I said, your intention, when you're doing these acrylic pours, like for me, at least, I don't know about other people, but for me, when I'm doing these pours, if I have a painting in mind for it to be the background for, it just seems like the pour kind of generates itself. Aside from the fact that I'm, pouring it in a particular way, too, that doesn't hurt. But it just seems like, the pour itself generates what I'm looking for. So let me just make sure I get something on her hands, because fingers tend to get jacked up sometimes. And I have one other ballerina that I poured with a bunch of purple, but I think it was too close in color. I really matched those colors just a bit too well on that. Lay her down. You hear little kids playing, that's my neighbor's kids. They're outside having a good time being little kids. So, I don't mind my neighbors. I don't mind their kids. Their dog I wasn't too thrilled about because they were jumping over my fence and coming in my backyard. And then, well, they were climbing under our fence because we had a little hole in the fence that we didn't really think was a big deal, considering they had a pit bull. But then the dog would jump over the fence and then climb up our wall, which I thought was really more cat-like than dog-like. And then climb and walk on the wall. Just walk on the wall like a cat. And then jump in their backyard. But they knew they weren't supposed to be out. Their dog knew she wasn't supposed to be out. And she be all in the neighborhood, going around visiting her friends. She went up in this lady's house next door, went through her little doggy door, and she had two little itty bitty dogs. So this dog kind of out of control. Anyway, I won't go on and on about it. Okay, so here is the Firebird. I'm pretty sure I have her pretty straight because her leg looks pretty well lined up. Her leg looks pretty well lined up against the edge of the painting. I think I got her hands pretty good. I may have too much. No, I think I might have poured a bit much in my. I'll just pour it back in my big bottle. And I wish I could just like this is definitely not dry. I can see it's not going to be dry for a while either. So that's definitely not dry. So, I know I'm competing against the Olympics. I just finished watching curling, whatever, and I still am not sure I understand how that sport scores anything. That's one of the few Winter Olympic sports that I'm like, huh? What? I mean, it looks kind of like pool, and I could understand how you could knock people's stones out of position and get a score, but some stuff I was watching, I was sitting there and I was like, what are they doing? Hmm. Okay, well, and then somebody got a score, and I was like, okay, so what exactly did they do to get that score? I couldn't figure it out. So anyhow, I was like, whatever. So I'm gonna just add a little bit. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to do. I forgot to add just a little bit of Mod Podge to my whole painting so that it's kind of even all over. I didn't do that with any of them. I usually do that. I have a lot on here, but I usually like even it up. I'll probably do that with all of them. Um, yeah, I can add to that. So I think what I was saying was make sure that you don't use that you use a laser printer on this, because if you don't use a laser printer and you just use your inkjet printer, then the inkjet, when the water hits it, it will the ink will just disintegrate, and it'll just spread all over, like you know it'll just spread all over, and you'll be really really unhappy. So I would not recommend using an inkjet printer to print this out. You really have to use a laser printer for this. I think maybe I should not have used water. I hope I didn't make a mistake. Oops. I'm not an expert on any of this. This is, sometimes I'm experimenting and making mistakes too. It's not like, you know, I know everything and I'm the end all be all. I mean, I teach for a living, but, I do make mistakes too. And when I do, I let the students know, hey, that was a mistake. And we're learning this together sometimes. Because, I don't always do the same lessons because that's like super boring. And I don't want to be bored, and I don't want my kids to be bored. So, I do rotate my lessons so that, I'm not doing the same. Like, oh my God, I've been teaching for a long time, but I don't want to do the same thing every single year. Who wants to do that? Okay, so that lady is done. She's done. And, I don't know. So you can kind of see the bubbles and stuff kind of through her, through that. And that's going to take a while to dry, even in the desert. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the bubbles all the way through. Right. So it's been about an hour, and I thought maybe I would get to painting some stuff online, but an hour is kind of long for a video. So if you guys don't mind, if y'all don't mind, I'll probably just finish my paintings today because I need to go get some soil for my plants because my husband decided to replant some stuff and some really big pots. And he didn't have enough soil, so I don't want my little African violets to die because he was doing like his thing with Mr. Gardner and stuff. And it needs some more soil, so I got to go get some more soil. But I will do my little Saturday shopping stuff. So I thought I was like hit y'all up with that and let people go ahead and get back to the Olympics because I know y'all want to get back to the Olympics too, just like I am. So anyway, make sure you go to the Black Heritage website. Here it is. I'm gonna get your pencils ready. Write it down. It is easyexpo.net/Black Heritage Art Show /attendee _ so, and I'll put that up on the video, or rather on Facebook, so you guys know where to go. Get your early bird passes. It's like 99 cents for until the 20th, and then after that, there's to come to the art show and see me. And there's like artists from all over the world. I feel really lucky because I think there's only like about 10 visual artists in here, and how got in. I'm like, whoa. I got in. There's like artists from South Africa. There's artists from England. So, and there's one guy that, I'm on there he's on Fine Art America with me, named Larry Pancho Brown, and he's like really good. It's like really cool art too. So, and the artist from South Africa does really cool work, like work out of newspaper and stuff. That, I mean, he just like just this collage work out of newspaper. It's really expressive painting. So, I mean, if it's worth it just to even see these other artists that are there. Some of them are younger than me. Some of them are much older than me. I mean, they're just amazing, amazing. I really recommend you guys just pay the 99 cents. Come on, it's $1. It's less than $1. And go there and check it out because it's really interesting. And I think there's an artist from Atlanta there, and someone else from New Orleans, or at least he seems like he does like a lot of jazz. So, I encourage you guys to come. My booth in particular, there's some of the other booths too, but this is my booth. This is my booth because you're my friend. And just go and come and eat because I'll have some really cool stuff. My artwork is by no means, I'm going to really bust my tail next week. I got 5 days off. I'm going to be working super 5 days to get stuff done and get it put out there. And, I'll be watching the Olympics on my little Sling TV that I got. So the studio, and I'll put out 1 or 2 more videos before then. I'll go live a couple of times before then. And other than that, man, I'm hard and expecting all my friends to support. Share this video with your friends so that they'll come to, encourage them to come to my art show. And, I love you. Thank you for joining in. And I will see you guys next week. And I'll have, hopefully, I may not have a new phone, but I will have, so you'll get maybe a better look at what I'm doing. And you'll definitely be seeing me doing some more painting. And also, what you want me to do for my live event? Do you want me to do more acrylic pours? Do you want me to discuss topic about art? Because I really need to know what you guys want me to do for a whole hour. My event on my art show. Because if you're going to pay 99 cents to see me, instead of seeing me for free like you're doing now, because on that day, it's not going to be at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And you can't, I'm not going to do it on Facebook Live. It's going to be through Google Hangouts. So you're going to have to pay to see it this time on not this coming up Saturday, but Saturday the 24th. So I want to know what you want me to do, doing what you want me to do. So let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Peace. Peace. Namaste. Love you. Send me some comments so I know what to do.